Elden Ring Nightreign is a Souls experience with roguelike elements. The principle is simple. You deploy onto a map with a group of 3 or solo to collect perks and runes to improve and level up your character. The catch to this is that there is a hidden timer which lets the night set in, and the circle of flame will reduce the space on the map that you can roam in. At the end of the timer, the circle forms a small arena to fight a random boss in. After defeat, the flames disappear and a new day will start. This loop happens twice, and after the second boss is defeated, one will enter the final boss arena to fight a Night Lord. This Night Lord is not random and is picked before matchmaking. Nightreign is very much focused on group play and balanced around it. Additionally, the game does not offer any form of communication between the team members other than location pins that every player can set on the map. This is also a point of criticism people are making by saying the game is not fun or too hard to play if you do not have a fixed group of people to play and communicate with during your runs. I took this as a challenge and target to beat all Night Lords with random players to see how hard it really is. In this video I will show how we beat the first boss Gladius, which was the second or first try I had with 2 strangers, and of course not everything went perfect. I added some comments on his weaknesses, his attacks, and what can help you to defeat him, as by now I have fought him a couple of times. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, why don't you go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future, and who knows, you might even catch me live. I played as the Raider class, because we all know Big Bonk is the best bonk, and the Raider has an S tier scaling in strength. We started the run and began to roam around the map to collect different weapon perks and level up the characters. As this was pretty much one of my first runs, I will admit there was not really a strategy behind this, as I still had to figure out how the game works. Today I know more, and I can say that on every run you want to prioritize the point of interest that offer the damage type reward that matches the weakness of the boss. How do you find the weakness and what damage type the POI offers, you might ask? Well, that is quite simple. The weakness is being shown at the round table menu where you choose the Night Lord you want to fight. It's the symbol next to the word effective, which obviously shows what damage is effective against the boss. Make sure you also utilize relics that either support the effective damage or provide resistances to the damage the boss does attack with. Now for the reward, the principle is similar. You look for the damage type symbol that is effective against the boss, and if you find one on the map, the reward for defeating the boss in that point of interest will highly likely drop you one of the item or a perk that supports this. In case there is no symbols on the map that match the damage type you are looking for, you should check out the merchants, as they will in this case have an item for sale to match the damage type. The second thing to prioritize are churches to increase the amount of flasks, and the third are the mines, as you will find a mini boss in them that provides you with a smithing stone +2 that can be used to upgrade your weapon at an anvil next to a merchant. The rest is up to you and the performance of your group. There are ever jails that can be opened with stone sword keys that are dropped in chests, and formidable bosses roaming around that provide high tier gear or perks and runes. As I mentioned, this was one of my first runs, so we did not consider all too much of this, and this is why I will skip the setup and will jump straight to the Night Lord fight, and I will comment during the fight with some explanations and tips that will help you to beat. Gladius is the 3-headed beast that is weak to holy damage. His attack mechanics are not too complex, but he's quite fast with his attacks, which makes it awkward to fight him. Additionally, after some time he will for a short period split into 3 individual enemies that will first aggro all of you more or less randomly, but at some point one of you will get a red marker and all the 3 creatures will chase you down and jump at you. This is a critical part of the fight where many teams will fail. I will point this out along this fight and give some comments on how this can be handled. First of all, before you start the fight, make sure you stock up on warming stones for healing, and I also recommend to get some boiled prawn to increase physical damage negation. Next, you want to pick a weapon or incantation that does holy damage. Not does it more damage, but it also micro staggers the boss, especially in the phase where they split into 3. And the moment you hit one of the dogs with a holy attack, you will stagger it for a very short period, which can help you to land even more attacks or to get some space from them. The beginning of the fight is straightforward. You run into the arena and let the boss spawn. It will pick one target right away and run at it with a small jump attack that can be followed up by another jump attack. This attack is easy to roll, and I recommend you to roll into the boss to punish the attack with an R1 or an Xbox controller RB attack. At some point Gladius will shoot up and slam its sword into the direction of one of you. Simply dodge to the side and keep rolling or running away from it as he pulls it back towards him, which if you are in the way will hit you, as you can see in my case. Another attack that involves the sword he carries on his back is a spin attack. He spins around and lets the chain with the sword circle around him in a bigger radius twice. Here you need to roll twice, more or less right after each other, to dodge both attacks. It can happen that the elevation in the arena makes it so that the sword is flying above your head and you will not even get hit, but but it's best to always roll. After you did a good bit of damage, I believe it's 25%, he will turn into a fireball and split into 3 individual beasts. You want to make sure you're out of range of the fireballs or dodge them, as they will all fly into one direction. Now you have 3 options. Either you take each one of the beasts and fight them and make sure you watch the other beasts in case they change aggro, or you try to focus one of the beasts and kind of dodge the attack of the remaining ones. Here I can recommend to target the one with the sword on the back, as it's easy to identify. And the last option is that you run away from them, as this phase is time and not damage based. Means after some time Gladius will unite again and you can fight him and his 3 heads as normal. At some point during this phase, Gladius will roar out loud and one of you will get a red mark. This will cause all 3 beasts to focus on that person with the red mark, and they start to run towards and jump attack the target. While you can of course continue to fight and roll their attacks, I found it best here to run and roll from their attacks in case I got the mark. What helps me is to lock onto the beast that is closest to you all the time and keep running backwards from them. If you time it well and you use a holy weapon, you can basically roll their jump attack and punish their attack with 1 or 2 hits and micro stagger the beast, but you should always keep an eye on the other 2 as well in case they jump attack at the same time. After some time they will stop focusing the target and the red mark will be removed and the fight continues. From time to time Gladius will spit fire in front of him, which you can roll through, but you gotta time it well. Once enough time has passed, Gladius will reunite and the fight basically goes back to phase 1. Gladius also has a grab attack, which is indicated by audio and blue lightnings that you will see around his heads. At this point they all will open their mouth very wide and will kinda look up in the air before they jump attack one of you trying to snatch you. This you either want to outspace by running away or roll the jump attack. There's only one more attack that I have not gone over, and that is a fire wave that he shoots towards you, and this time involving his sword. At the start of this attack he will have the sword and fire in his mouth and will run back away from you. He then slams the sword into the ground and then will sort of pull it forward and at the same time upwards out of the ground, which shoots fire towards you. This can be rolled, but it also got to be timed well. Best is probably to outspace it if possible if you struggle to roll the attack, but this can obviously be difficult if you are a melee class. So you gotta get the timing of the roll and then roll through it. Now this is the whole fight explained, and I will let the rest of the fight speak for itself so you can see the individual attack patterns and can see how the individual people react, or in my case often enough do not react. It looks similar to Monster Hunter as well, yeah, that's true. Come on man, this could be it. Oh, they're splitting again, these f***s. Huge stun. Huge repose. Get it? No! Don't do it. Oh, no, 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 no. Hit the boy crap. Run, brother! Got him. Let's go! Night Lord done, man. Holy shit. Good job, boys.